Long ago, in a Yoruba kingdom in western Nigeria, there lived a princess named Adesua. She was the second daughter of the king and queen, with 4 sisters. Unfortunately, Adesua was not considered as beautiful or attractive as the other princesses. She was not slender. Instead, she was quite plump, and her mother often described her as round like a ball. Whenever Adesua went out with her friends or mingled with the public, she lacked the qualities that were seen as signs of beauty. While her sisters and other princesses captured the attention of men and princes, Adesua rarely drew any notice. Instead, all the praise and admiration were always showered on her friends and sisters. Moreover, she often overheard her parents, relatives, and visitors referring to her with hurtful terms like the fat one or the dark one. Sometimes in conversations, she would hear things like, "Oh, we weren't talking about her, we meant the beautiful one." She even once heard someone call her the ugly princess. The king and queen ensured that all their daughters received the best education. But Adesua, feeling unattractive due to societal beauty standards, devoted herself entirely to her studies at a young age. She believed she could only stand out through her intelligence, not her looks. Over time, she became one of the brightest young royals, and her achievements were talked about everywhere. However, growing up with the belief that she was not beautiful damaged her self-esteem. While other princesses openly discussed their desires, and especially their marriage dreams, Adesua never joined these conversations. She thought that handsome princes would never be interested in her. Though everyone respected her for her knowledge and intelligence, she remained devoid of romantic attention, even during festival days. In their kingdom, a grand event was to be held. Royal families from not only their own kingdom, but also from other kingdoms were expected to attend. However, the king was too ill to attend the event, and the queen was unable to do so due to other reasons, while other chiefs were also unavailable. Therefore, the king asked Adesua to address the people on his behalf. He trusted in Adesua's deep knowledge of their cultures, her emotional intelligence, intellect, and leadership abilities. She had developed all these qualities through her diligence. Adesua was finally filled with the excitement of being noticed and appreciated. For 3 days, she prepared her speech with all her attention and skill. On the day of the festival, Adesua took her place on the king's throne. This caused whispers among the crowded visitors and the people. Those who had never seen her before wondered who this woman in royal attire sitting on the throne could be. Some thought she might be the king's wife, as they speculated that all those extra pounds might have come from childbirth. Others argued that it couldn't be a princess, as they always believed princesses to be perfect and beautiful. When Adesua was announced to begin her speech with the loud and intricate rhythm of the drums, she managed to capture everyone's attention. Her speech perfectly reflected the essence and symbolism of the festival. She emphasized the beauty of humanity and the significance of coming together. Every word and delivery touched the hearts of the people. She spoke for about an hour and held everyone spellbound. No one wanted her speech to end because they were amazed to see how wise she was at such a young age. Even members of the king's court were impressed by her grace and sincerity. When Adesua finished her speech, everyone had listened to her with fascination. The atmosphere was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. Adesua momentarily feared she had done something wrong and almost began to tremble inwardly. "Oh my God, I must be embarrassed," she thought. "Father, Why are they all looking at me so silently? But suddenly, the crowd erupted into loud cheers. Applause rose, and a wave of great joy engulfed the entire kingdom. Everyone was proud to have such a brilliant princess. Many even said she could one day become queen and even rule the kingdom. As the festivities continued at full swing, the royal family engaged in conversation with each other. Many congratulated Adesua and praised her intelligence. They all dined together, and as the evening progressed, everyone began to slowly depart. As Adesua made her way towards the king's chamber, she felt a cold hand grasp her wrist from behind. "Forgive me, Princess Adesua," a voice said from behind. Startled, she turned to see a face she had never seen before, emerging from the darkness. It was a handsome young prince, adorned in the symbols of the royal lineage. His presence was both regal and approachable. Adesua's heart began to beat rapidly as she looked at him. In the prince's demeanor, there was a grace reminiscent of the flowing rivers of their kingdoms. In that moment, when she met the prince's gaze, she felt a spark of connection, unlike anything she had ever felt before. As they locked eyes, there was a perfect blend of intellect and warmth between them. Before succumbing to this feeling, Adesua composed herself and looked at him with a calm gaze. "How can I assist you?" Adesua asked with a slight smile. "I am Prince Tund from A," the young man introduced himself. "I've been trying to catch your attention all day, but luck wasn't on my side." "Oh, I'm sorry if there's any problem," Adesua began, but the prince politely cut her off, saying, "No, it's not like that. Your speech today deeply moved me, and I wanted to personally express my admiration to you," he said. "I've heard stories of beauty and grace for a long time, but nothing could prepare me for the radiance I experienced today. May I have the honor of speaking with you for a moment?" Adesua looked behind her in disbelief, as if to confirm whether she was truly being addressed. She even pinched herself lightly to make sure she wasn't dreaming. The prince was looking at her with an enchanted gaze. Lost in her thoughts for a moment, Adesua didn't realize she had left the prince's question unanswered. "I apologize if I said something wrong, Princess Adesua," Prince Tund added. "Oh, no," Adesua said hastily. "Can we sit in the garden? It's been a really long day." So they sat in the garden and began to get to know each other better. They enjoyed each other's company and stories. What started as a brief moment quickly turned into hours. It was the beginning of a beautiful flirtation filled with meaning, love, and sincerity. After some time, discussions about Tund's men coming formally to propose marriage began. One afternoon, Tund visited Adesua, and as usual, they sat in the garden. Adesua tried to lay her head on his shoulder as usual, but Tund shrugged it off and straightened himself. "Oh, I'm sorry. You must be very tired today," Adesua said. "Forgive me. I'm not really tired, just not in the mood. Also, I've told you before that I have a bit of weight on me. Are you trying to hunch me over?" "It's heavy," Tund replied sharply. Adesua, trying to hide her embarrassment, changed the subject. "How is the kingdom? How are the people?" she asked, trying to put on a smile. "That's one of the many problems I have with you," Tund grumbled. "When will you get rid of this excess weight? I am a very handsome prince, and there are many beautiful princesses who want my attention. If you want us to stay together, you should sit up straight." Adesua was shocked by what she heard. Her heart tightened, and she felt a pain in her stomach. Tund had said such things in the past, But that day his voice sounded even more cruel than usual. Thinking he was going through a rough time, Adesua quickly composed herself. "Prince, you know I've told you before. Despite eating the same amount as my sisters, I still gain this much weight. I'll ask the royal herbalist if there's anything else I can do," she said. She tried to reach for his hands, but Tund pushed her away angrily. "I won't continue with this nonsense until you take it seriously. You're not even beautiful, just very average looking, and you're still overweight. You don't even care to improve your appearance. Everyone knows that a woman's intelligence can't compensate for how she looks. You're lucky I've chosen to stay with you for so long, but your behavior shows that you're not even grateful for me speaking like this to you," Tund said. Since Tund noticed that Adesua lacked confidence because of her appearance, he had begun to look at her harshly and treated her with very little love and respect. But Adesua tolerated it, because if the relationship weren't like this... Adesua tried everything to make Tund happy because she felt lucky to be with him. She believed she wouldn't find anyone else if Tund left her. However, the arguments and insults became so frequent that Adesua couldn't recall their last friendly or romantic moment together. The weight of the situation deeply disturbed her. She blankly stared for a moment and closed her eyes in a heart-wrenching manner, struggling tears falling onto her chest. Memories of the past few months flashed before her eyes like a film reel. Tund's hurtful words, undeserved apologies, and nights spent crying. She realized how unhappy she was while trying to please Tund. She had spent all her time trying to make him happy, but things only got worse. Eventually, she realized she could never be perfect for Tund. Summoning her courage, she began to speak. "You know, today I have to want the best for you because I love you, but I've realized I can never be the person you want. You're free to choose any beautiful princess who catches your interest. You can tell your family there's no need to come and propose," Adesua said. Tund laughed. "What do you think you're doing? You'll be single forever. No one will come for you." Adesua took a deep breath and replied firmly, "Yes, I thought so too. I may not be what most men desire, but I've realized being single and happy is better than being with someone who doesn't appreciate and belittles me." Tund continued to laugh. "No one will ever love you." "Oh, you're mistaken," Adesua said calmly. "Every day of my life, I'll love myself enough. There's more to me than this body. I'm beautiful, smart, kind, wise, empathetic, and hardworking. I lost myself trying not to fall out of favor with you and others. But now, I can see clearly. I love myself enough to know we don't deserve each other." Adesua's determined words angered Tund. "If you allow me to leave without apologizing, you'll regret it," Tund said before storming out like an angry tempest. But Adesua didn't flinch. She was tired and had made up her mind. Tund's final words were, "Don't come back begging, because I'll never listen to you again." Adesua was surprised to find herself enveloped in a sense of peace for the first time in a long while. She was at peace with herself. She wasn't sure if she could find another handsome prince, but she had decided never to allow herself to be mistreated again or dictated by others' opinions. A newfound confidence emerged within her, and she realized that the most important thing was how she perceived herself and how it reflected in her actions. She transformed into a confident and outgoing young woman. She embraced the idea of having only one life and decided to live it to the fullest without caring about what others thought of her. She used to fear people commenting on how unattractive she was, but now it didn't matter anymore. She had her best dresses made, tried out hairstyles she liked, and indulged in beauty routines just like other princesses. She now ventured out without worrying about what others thought, and engaged in activities she enjoyed. People watched with admiration as Adesua became the center of attention and an inspiration to the people in her kingdom. She became known as a princess with both beauty and intelligence. Soon, all the girls in the kingdom wanted to be like her. Some of the best princes tried to marry her. Her parents urged her to make a quick decision before her chances ran out, or before the suitors changed their minds. But Adesua replied to them with conviction, "I'll take all the time I need. Finding the right person for me is much better than being with someone who doesn't know true love. I'm not afraid, and I'm not in a hurry." All these experiences led Adesua to discover her inner strength and realize her true worth. Life sometimes teaches us the greatest lessons in our hardest moments. Adesua's story reminds us of the importance of confidence and staying true to ourselves. Remember, each of us can be the prince and princess of our own lives. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and keep following us for more content.